By the time you turn 40, you've invested 2 decades into your professional life. You've accumulated experience, built a portfolio of skills, and navigated the complex dynamics of the modern workplace. But with that milestone comes a moment of reflection, a professional audit where you look at the balance sheet of your career and ask, what if? What if you had claimed your value in that meeting? What if you had leveraged your talent for a higher risk, higher reward opportunity? What if you had divested from that job that was delivering negative returns on your well-being? If these questions resonate, you are not in crisis. You are in clarification. Your 40s are an inflection point where the strategic decisions you made and failed to make are magnified. In this video, we're breaking down the 10 most common career regrets for women in their 40s and, more critically, the actionable strategies you can deploy to course correct. These aren't liabilities, they are data points for your future success. The first regret is a significant missed opportunity, failing to claim your value by not speaking up. This is about every meeting where you held back a premium idea, worried it wouldn't land. It is about not stepping up for a high-visibility project because you didn't feel 100% qualified. Many women report a pattern of self-censorship, fearing they'll be undervalued or met with resistance. The problem is, this silence compounds. It creates a deficit of missed opportunities that can stall your trajectory. You become known as reliable and diligent, but not as leadership material. You set the terms for how you are perceived, and when you consistently mute your own contributions, you signal to others that your intellectual capital isn't worth their investment. The strategy is to start with small, calculated moves. Your objective for the next team meeting: make one high-value comment. It could be a question that clarifies scope, an addition that builds on a colleague's point, or a concise recommendation. The more you exercise your influence in small forums, the more natural it becomes to command attention in major ones. You are proving to the market and to yourself that your voice is an asset. Regret number 2 carries a heavy cost: remaining in an underperforming or toxic job for far too long. It's one of the most common career miscalculations, often justified with flawed logic. The compensation is adequate. The location is convenient. I don't want to lose seniority. We build a case for the status quo while our most valuable assets, our energy, talent, and peace of mind, depreciate daily. This isn't about isolated bad days. This is about realizing you allocated years of your life to an environment that offered a poor return on investment. The real loss is the version of yourself that was sacrificed to tolerate a culture that compromised your well-being. The impact on your mental and physical health is a significant liability, often leading to burnout that requires extensive recovery time. The solution is a fundamental mindset shift. Your well-being is not a perk, it is a prerequisite for a high-performance career. Begin by performing a cost-benefit analysis of your current role. Document the specific factors that make the job toxic. Is it the leadership, the lack of growth, the culture? Seeing it in black and white makes the data undeniable. Then, initiate your exit strategy. It doesn't require a dramatic exit. Update your professional profile, activate your network, and analyze the market. Taking one small step is an immediate return of control and a powerful investment in yourself. This one directly impacts your net worth. A major regret for countless professional women is failing to negotiate compensation, whether at the point of offer or during performance reviews. With some reports indicating that around 60% of women have never negotiated their pay, it's a critical financial error. This doesn't just reduce a single paycheck, it triggers a lifetime of compounded losses, affecting everything from your lifestyle to your retirement assets. The frustration stems from calculating the immense capital left on the table. Women often hesitate to negotiate, fearing the offer might be withdrawn, or feeling unequipped for the conversation. This hesitancy contributes to the gender pay gap. You've likely heard that women's median earnings are around 83 to 85 cents for every dollar men make. That gap often begins with the very first salary negotiation. The solution is to reframe the transaction. Negotiation is not a conflict. It is a standard business protocol. You are not being demanding. You are advocating for your market value. Before your next negotiation, compile your data. Leverage platforms like Glassdoor and PayScale to determine your worth. When you receive an offer, you can respond, "I'm excited about this opportunity, and we're aligned on the role. I'd like to discuss the compensation structure to ensure it reflects my market value." Anchor your request in the value you deliver and the problems you are uniquely qualified to solve. Regret number 4 is allowing imposter syndrome to dictate strategy. Imposter syndrome is the persistent, unfounded belief that you are a fraud who will be exposed, despite a track record of competence. While it can affect anyone, some studies show that as many as 75% of female executives have experienced it. The pain of this regret is realizing the number of opportunities you preemptively closed for yourself. You didn't pursue a role because you didn't meet 100% of the listed qualifications, while it's often cited that men apply when they meet just 60%. You diluted your accomplishments. You attributed your success to luck instead of strategic execution. This self-doubt is a tax on your potential and can lead to burnout from overperforming to compensate for perceived inadequacies. The solution is to counter feelings with facts. Curate a brag file, a digital dossier of positive feedback, successful project outcomes, and professional milestones. When imposter syndrome surfaces, consult this evidence. Another powerful tactic is to discuss it with a trusted mentor. You'll discover how many high-achieving women navigate the same feeling, and this shared data is incredibly empowering. The 5th career regret is neglecting to build and, more importantly, leverage a professional network. It's easy to become so focused on execution that you fail to allocate resources to strategic relationship building. The cost of this oversight becomes apparent when you need to pivot, due to a layoff or a desire for a new challenge, and realize your social capital is underdeveloped. You feel isolated and lack access to opportunities. A strong network is an asset that provides market intelligence, strategic advice, and access. Mentors, in particular, are career accelerators, opening doors and providing guidance that represents an unfair advantage. The solution is to reframe networking as relationship cultivation, not transactional encounters. Begin with your existing assets. Re-engage with former colleagues you respect. Join a premium industry organization. Set a target of 1 networking meeting, virtual or in person, per month. And don't hesitate to seek mentorship. A simple approach is, I have been following your career and greatly admire your trajectory. Would you be open to a brief 15-minute conversation about your experience? Regret number 6 is a common miscalculation among ambitious professionals, prioritizing career metrics over personal well-being. This manifests as skipped meals, chronic late nights, forfeited vacation days, and the relentless pressure to remain constantly connected. The pain is the delayed recognition that you've invested all your capital into your job, leaving you personally over-leveraged. By your 40s, the negative equity often appears on your physical and mental balance sheets. Burnout, chronic stress, and health issues become undeniable liabilities. You look back and regret not enforcing stricter boundaries to protect your most valuable asset, your own vitality. The solution is to integrate self-care into your core career strategy. A depleted asset is a non-performing one. Start by scheduling non-negotiable personal time in your calendar with the same priority as a board meeting. This could be a workout, a walk, or 30 minutes of uninterrupted reading. Master the art of the strategic no. You can state, I lack the bandwidth to take that on at this time. Protecting your health isn't self-indulgent. It is essential for long-term career viability. The 7th regret is allowing the fear of change to lead to strategic paralysis. This is the act of remaining in a good enough job you've outgrown, because the perceived risk of a pivot feels greater than the slow cost of stagnation. You know you're capable of more, but the security of the known outweighs the potential of the unknown. The deep frustration here is internal. You look back and see a decade vanish in a role that was no longer accretive to your skill set. This fear isn't just financial, it's emotional. It's the fear of failure, of miscalculation, of making the wrong strategic move. So you remain, and the sense of being trapped intensifies. The solution is to de-risk the pivot. You don't need to execute a leap without a safety net. If you're exploring a new career path, take an online course or a small freelance project to test the market. Conduct informational interviews with professionals in the target role. These small-scale tests minimize risk and build the confidence needed for a larger move. Remember, a challenging day in a role you're passionate about is a better investment than a comfortable day in a career that is yielding diminishing returns. Regret number 8 is a fundamental one. Building a career that didn't align with your core passions. often due to external pressures or practical considerations. Perhaps you chose a field because it was perceived as unstable, or took a job for its prestige, ignoring the internal data indicating it was a poor fit. The result is a feeling of deep inauthenticity. You feel like you're managing a portfolio that isn't yours. You look at the years invested in climbing a ladder you never intended to be on and feel a sense of loss for the value you could have created elsewhere. The solution is to begin diversifying your portfolio of fulfillment, even if it's outside your primary career. Launch a passion project, an initiative you pursue purely for the intrinsic reward, with no pressure for immediate monetization. This could be anything from photography to coding to consulting. This reconnects you with a neglected part of your personal capital. Occasionally, these ventures can evolve into new revenue streams. But even if they don't, they provide a sense of purpose that can make your primary career more sustainable. The ninth regret is a failure in long-term financial strategy. This includes insufficient retirement savings, a lack of investment, or not building a capital reserve to fund career pivots or sabbaticals. This regret generates significant anxiety. By your 40s, retirement is no longer an abstract concept. The realization of a savings deficit can induce panic and severely limit your professional options, trapping you in a role you dislike out of financial necessity. Every woman, regardless of her relationship status, must be the primary architect of her own financial future. The solution is to seize control of your financial portfolio, regardless of your starting point. The optimal time to invest was yesterday. The next best time is today. Consider engaging a fee-only financial advisor to get a clear audit and build a realistic growth plan. Automate your savings and retirement contributions, no matter how small the initial amount. Diversifying your savings across multiple vehicles, like a 401k and a personal IRA, is a powerful wealth-building strategy. Financial sovereignty gives you the ultimate freedom to make career moves based on opportunity, not desperation. Finally, the 10th regret is failing to prioritize continuous learning. In a rapidly evolving market, past performance is not indicative of future results. Resting on existing skills can quickly lead to professional obsolescence. The feeling is the stark realization that your industry has evolved beyond your expertise. You observe junior colleagues with newer, more relevant skills being assigned to high-value projects, while your own work becomes commoditized. Your shrinking influence is a clear indicator that your skill set is depreciating. The solution is to adopt a mindset of lifelong learning. This does not require another 4-year degree. Invest in online certifications, executive workshops, or even free, high-quality tutorials. Dedicate a small but consistent portion of your time, a few hours a month, to acquiring a new skill relevant to your industry or a field you want to enter. This strategy not only increases your market value, but also creates new opportunities, ensuring your career remains dynamic and future-proof. These are the 10 most common career regrets for women in their 40s. The recurring themes, playing it safe, deprioritizing your own assets, and ignoring internal data, are incredibly pervasive. But the most valuable takeaway is this: looking back is only useful if it informs a more strategic path forward. Your 40s are not an endpoint. They are a powerful midpoint. You now possess 2 decades of experience and wisdom, assets your 20-year-old self did not have. Use these regrets as a strategic roadmap. What is one decisive action you can take this week to begin optimizing your career trajectory? Let me know in the comments. And if this briefing was valuable, subscribe for more intelligence on building a life and career of consequence at any age. You still have a long runway to protect your well-being, pursue your calling, and build a future of immense value.